Welcome to Financials with Ahau. It's a joy to be together with you again as we continue on the Making Wealth series. And this time around, we're talking about monetizing our skills and our talents. We continue to build up from the conversation last week where we just introduced what this would look like and the thought process behind coming to a place of allowing the things that we usually just put on the side and we pray that we'll make use of them one day to actually come into the forefront and become part of our income basis. So what comes to mind today as we continue with this conversation is how do we list these things out? How do we identify the core ones that we would like to start with? And how do we start from there? And one of the things that has helped me is to sit down and do a list of all the things I think I know and also what other people have told me that I'm capable of. So that becomes like the first list that one works with, because it's a place of self-analysis that allows you to actually see who you are and what you carry. Then the place of prayer, that's very key. Always taking it back to God and just saying, this is the list I have. These are the things that look like they can work for me, and praying over them so that you can really be able to ground them from the place of keeping them before God. The second thing is now the research, because once you've identified something, you don't just start, but you take time out to research. So looking at the core things that seem could work and making time to actually research, making time to read about them, making time to find out what are others doing in that same space, not to emulate, but to be able to pick lessons, because each of us are unique, each of us carry an identity, and each of us deliver things very differently. We could be speaking about finances, three of us, but there's just one particular person who will be able to resonate with my voice. Then someone else will resonate with another person's voice. So it's important to pick lessons, then build up from there. And as you do the research, you're then able to determine the approach that you're going to take. When will you start putting out timelines? Is this something that I can do in 1 week, in 2 months, in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years? Because what you schedule and what you put into a progressive line of how you'll work it out makes it clearer for your mind. You kind of bring it down and break it down. You know, like that old adage of you set the big objectives, the big deliverables, and then you break them down into smaller goals towards achieving the bigger objective. Then the other thing is, who are you bringing along with you? It's very key to work with others. The world is teaching us to be separate, do your thing, let others see you shine. No, we need the voice of others. We need the voice of those who have gone ahead. We need the voice of those who are coming behind. And we need the voice of those who are at the same level with us, so that then we're able to build up on this from a well-grounded, well-understood, and also well-supported place. One beautiful thing for me I have seen is, especially as I ventured into doing, let's say, these videos, is people who understood this field were able to tell me, go into this area. There's one particular person, shout out to Liz. She told me about copyright, understanding what it means to safeguard your work, understanding what goes into place in that. Shout out to Emmanuel. Emmanuel told me how to plan out when you're preparing for a video. Shout out to Winnie, who's looking out for partners and telling me people who I can think of partnering with. Shout out to Jackie, to Fanny, different people who have come alongside me because they know who I am. They may not even know where I'm going, but they have seen other people doing it and they've seen the things I can build up on, and have shared it with me. Shout out to Anne, people who are in the creative space who are telling me, Miranda, what to do to make videos better. Recently one young person was telling me there's something called TikTok. Like, yes, I've heard about it. And they're like, think about it. That's another area of growth for you. And when I think through just monetizing our skills and putting them into good practice, those three things become cool. What are they? List the skills. How are these skills going to be actioned? Determine which ones you start with, the timeline will work with them, then who will come alongside you. And all of this, continue to put them in a place of prayer, in a place of submission, in a place that it's not only you working on them, but you're allowing others to help you build towards what you want to become. And that's a good place to start. I'll stop at that just to give us something to work at. Keep writing. Those three are good enough to write about. keep praying through them so that you can be able to achieve your goals slowly but surely. Thank you for listening. It's been a joy to share with you. Till next time, it's a how.